Lisa with Hollywood Rock Underground Television and Zombie Wolf Magazine. I am here at Sweetwater Cafe with the incredible RIK FOX.
Howdy.
Howdy.
Darren Upton, who wrote the W.A.S.P biography, told me you have been the center of this division between W.A.S.P fans. There's like, for the first several albums up until I think Crimson Idol, and from Crimson Idol on, there's these other fans. And they're like, they argue back and forth at each other about your position and your part of history in the band. And we're wondering, well, what is the story with the early origins of the band beyond what Blackie says publicly or on his website? You know, who are you, Rick, and what did you do in W.A.S.P? What was your role? I said, I was a bass player. He came to me one day and said, it's not working out. You're out of the band. I never saw it coming. And you are not to own any proof that you were in the band. You are not to own any photos. You are not to own anything that shows that a record that you were in the band.
Wow.
And I said, yeah. I said, what is this, Kiss? I didn't sign any contracts. I'm not Vinnie Vincent. You don't make me sign contracts saying I can't own anything. And now lately, it's come up again. A local promoter, whose name I will leave nameless. Everybody knows and loves her. She's apparently friends with Randy Piper's manager. And now Randy's pissed off because there was an account posted in Facebook of a quote of his that he gave me when I was kicked out of W.A.S.P. After the first W.A.S.P. show, I was invited back to the after party after they had the show at the Troubadour. Randy and I are sitting on one of the hotel beds. I have a picture of him, both of us sitting there laughing. And he like this nudge, and he goes, "I'll tell you why you got kicked out of W.A.S.P." I said, "Oh, really?" And then what's in the quote is what he told me. And once that hit Facebook, I started getting all these automated messages, one after another, like 5 of them in a row from Randy saying, "Take that down. That's not true. You're misquoting me, and I don't like it. And there's people who are asking me, and I don't want to talk about it." I said, "No, it's the truth. You cannot censor my personal life experience. It's not yours to censor. What happened to me happened to me." And it says at the bottom of the quote, if this upsets some people, tough shit. You know. That's how it happened. That's exactly how it happened. I have no reason to lie. I have I'm not going to profit from lying. Why not just tell the truth? It's harder to lie because then you have to keep covering up with more lies. It's easier to tell the truth, you know. And once it's out there, it's out there. But telling the truth causes embarrassment to some people who would rather just have certain information kept out of the public eye so that they don't have to explain it. So, ruffles feathers. So what? You know, controversy's always been around my name. Controversy sells magazines.
Sure does.
You know, but the thing is, I'm not lying in the controversy. I'm telling the truth. So, that's pretty much the W.A.S.P story.
Hey, so you have a show, Spiders and Snakes, coming up.
Right. I was asked to do a bass track on the upcoming Spiders and Snakes album, The Year of the Snake. And it was a cover of the Angel version of the Rascals song, Ain't Gonna Eat Up My Heart Anymore. So, got all of Felix Robinson's bass lines down, and it went into the studio and we recorded it. They didn't tell me they changed the key of the song before I got there, so now I had to transpose it as we were recording.
As you were recording.
Because I learned it in the key that Angel does it in. Betsy from Bitch sings on it. She sings it's kind of a call and answer duo from the female and male perspective of the song, which is a real interesting twist. And she sings it with the drummer, Tim Yusui. So I went in the studio, we recorded the album, and that was that. That was cool. Doing the album cut led to them saying, well, you have a show, do you want to play with us for the show? Our bass player's on a personal hiatus. And I said, sure. So I figured I'm just going to do the one show. And so one show turned into several. You know, we played with Thor at Club Loaded in Hollywood, and on the heels of that, now we're headlining a show coming up at Club Loaded on July 19th, and that will be my last show with Spiders and Snakes. Their bass player's coming back, you know, so I always knew I was just filling in for Phil St. Vincent, and you know, it's bittersweet. I mean, I'm working my way back into the scene again, but at the same time, you know, after all this fun with Spiders and Snakes. Oh, now I have to, you know, find somebody else to play with. You know, I'm going to be on with Rockin' Matt O'Shaughnessy on WVOX on this Friday for his radio show, which is very prestigious for me because this guy has interviewed like the biggest, most famous legends in rock. And he's like, Rick, I want you on the show. I was like, no way.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, it's been an on-again, off-again scheduling thing, and we lost touch with each other. And then he contacted me and said, listen, I'm sorry we lost contact. I still want you on the show. And I was like, okay. So I'm really appreciative to people like Matt and a lot of the other, what I say is that there are people who used to be fans of our genre of music who have now gotten a little older, they've gotten computers, and they've become their own hosts of their own shows, and magazines, Zombie Wolf and such like that. Hollywood Hollywood Rocks type shows and video shows. I'm supposed to be working on something with Red Mancini for LA Rocks for his show as well. It's nice that people are reaching out to say, hey, come on my show. I salute all of you.
Yeah.
You guys are doing a fantastic job. And David Ray and Laura Stoltz, and I just put a big thank you on my Facebook page, thanking as many people as I could remember that I've done shows with, and tagged everybody's names because they need to see that they're getting the deserved credit. To remember who put you where you are is when you empower others, you empower yourself. When you can make a positive impact on the course of somebody else's life, that reward pays for itself. The best bet is to be a straight arrow, shoot straight, and be firm, be fair, and be honest, and thank the people who've helped you. Give the credit where it's due.
What type of project would you like to do? What type of musical fantasy have you had?
I'm glad you've asked me that. A lot of people have said, Rick, when are you going to put Sin back together? Now, for those who don't know or were missing the 80s, Sin was probably one of the biggest unsigned bands of Los Angeles in the mid-80s. After my first lineup of Sin, we went our ways. It wasn't working. And I got what was 3/5 of the band called Alien. We're on Mongol Horde Records. They broke up. Guitar player called me up and asked me if I could get him a gig auditioning for Kiss. I said, no, they already got a guitar player. I said, but I'm putting another lineup of Sin back together. He says, well, we can come out there. I said, all right. He brought Frank Starr with him and a replacement guitar player, Richie Pagano. And we put a new Sin together. And it was heavier than the first lineup I had out here. We got a drummer from a local band called Prisoner. He was like a Latino version of Bobby Rondinelli. So through that, we pulled in a huge Inland Empire / Latino heavy metal fan base. This is all before gangbanging came in and the short hair and all the S and stuff. Before all of that stuff came in, there was a huge contingent in Los Angeles and Inland Empire of a Latino heavy metal following. And they've never forgotten. In LA, everybody's got jaded attitudes. A lot of people have jaded attitudes. Outside of my own backyard, outside of LA, I got guys left and right going, Rick, can I play with you? Rick, can I play with you? And they're all out of state. I thank you. I appreciate it. But I can't use you if you're out of state. I can't use you if you're out of the LA area. I need somebody here in my backyard who can cut the material. I have plans for my music. And I'm going to be very close to signing with somebody very soon, which is a sneak peek here. And I'm going to be releasing some of my Sin material, some of my Thunderball material. I'm essentially going to put out a Rick Fox anthology package. So it'll have Sin songs, it'll have Thunderball songs and stuff like that. I have some video footage of Alien before Frank was in Sin. I'd like to maybe, if I can, throw that out there as a gift to the fans. Show you some of our Sin roots with Frank and Alien. Anyway, I'd like to put Sin together, but if I can't put it as Sin, it's going to be a Rick Fox project of some kind. So there'll be no doubt that it's something I put together, and these are the guys I pulled in with me. I'm just not quite sure what to call it yet. Just want to say thanks to everyone who've kept the faith. Thanks for sticking in there with me and open doors to all the new fans. Thank you for the old fans. Thanks to everybody who's put me where I am today. In the words of Roseanne Barr, poke me with a fork. I think I'm done. Let's put a bow on this and wrap it up.
We had a wonderful time here today, and we'd like to thank Rick Fox, of course, for taking time out of his day to spend it with us.
Absolutely.
We'd also like to thank Joseph Timmons at Zombie Wolf Magazine, and of course Alfonso Estevez Fonts.
On the camera.
On the camera. We can't do it without you.
You know what these are on Facebook? Parentheses, Y parentheses, parentheses, Y parentheses. Look it up and you'll see.
Hollywood Rock Underground TV.